Well, hello there, my friend. Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome as always to the Catholic Teacher Daily Message here on YouTube. Please make sure you're subscribed, hit those subscribe buttons, and there is a whole bunch of links under here that you need to go and check out. You can find my social feeds, you can book me to speak live. Everything is under here. Today, I've got a really important quote for you from George Weigel, the well-known Catholic public intellectual in the United States and former papal biographer. I don't know, are you a former papal biographer? Or are you a biographer of a former pope? Anyway, he wrote the main biography of Pope John Paul II. Weigel was somebody who's very familiar with John Paul II's thought. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump into today's quote. The Church of the New Evangelization is a church in which every Catholic understands him or herself as a missionary disciple. I hope that you have heard the term new evangelization before. It's a very well-known Catholic term. It comes from a speech that Pope John Paul II gave to the combined bishops of Oceania. I think it was back in, I'm going to take a gamble here, I think it was around 1984. And he first used that term new evangelization. I guess John Paul had this deep conviction that what the church needed to do was what the church has always done in history, which was go towards men and women with the good news of Jesus Christ. And this evangelization needed to be new, it needed to be fresh, it needed to be re-energized for the particular needs and contexts of the 21st century. Like your classroom, for example, like your Catholic school, for example. Think of all the families that make up your Catholic school. I mean, imagine how many men and women in your broader Catholic school community are not actually evangelized, do not know Christ, or if they do know Christ, they don't have intimacy with him. So I guess one of the things John Paul II wanted you to understand is that you are never going to run out of projects, you're never going to run out of people to move towards, to build relationship with, and to share the message of Jesus Christ with them. Now, the crucial part of today's quote is the term missionary disciple. I'm going to keep the video short. I'm going to try and keep the video short. But of course, this is a quote a phrase, missionary disciple, that has so much going for it. First, because in Matthew 28, Jesus, of course, gives us the Great Commission. He tells us that the fundamental reason for the church is to make disciples. And then John Paul II takes that into a bigger, richer vision where he talks about being missionary disciples. So what I want to say to you in this message, my friend, today is that, look, it's difficult to argue with popes. It can be done. It has been done in history. But if I was a betting man, I would usually bet on the Pope ahead of your own individual theology. You know, I could be wrong. So when John Paul II clearly says that in this new evangelization, you and I are missionary disciples, he really wants us to understand that nobody is exempted from that mandate. Nobody. So I try to be, as best I can, a missionary disciple through these kinds of mediums. In a few weeks, I'm flying back to the US. Pre-COVID, I was flying into the US like once a month. I very much felt like a missionary disciple. You know, in the olden days, as my kids say, you know, your Francis Xaviers and those types would travel oceans to bring the gospel. I just have to fly to Dallas, Fort Worth pretty regularly. So I am trying as best I can in all my own incapacity and frailty and human weakness to be a missionary disciple, to help encourage and to make disciples. But let's talk about you. If you are working in Catholic education, then I need you to understand today that you are in fact a missionary disciple. So the next time you're having dinner with somebody, you may be at a dinner party or a barbecue, and someone says to you, what do? You say, I'm a missionary disciple. I dare you to do it. Just say, I'm a missionary disciple. I'm on mission for Jesus Christ to bring his message of welcome back to the Father's house to every man and woman that I meet. Of course, we're going to do this intelligently. As John Paul II also said, the Catholic Church never imposes, she only proposes. So we propose Christ to our friends, to our family members, to our students. How do we do it? We build relationship. You know, there are so many ways that we can be missionary disciples, but I think one of the crucial things is to build that relationship first. And you are a relationship builder. If you're a Catholic educator, you build relationship every single day. So please be encouraged that what you're doing is making a difference. Be encouraged that the church is counting on you. You know, without you, the church doesn't exist. You might not believe that. You might think, if something happened to me, you know, the church would go on. Well, yeah, it would. But imagine if everyone had that attitude that, you know, it doesn't really matter what I contribute. Well, who is contributing? Who is the church? It's all of us together on mission as missionary disciples. And Catholic education is one of those crucial places where this happens. So God bless you, my friend. Please make sure you've subscribed to the channel and go and check out these links. You can book me to speak live. You can book me me for private coaching if you're in Catholic leadership, if you're a principal. There's a whole bunch of other links under here, so go check them out. And there's a podcast I do every single day. There'll be a link here. But God bless you. Thank you for your work. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This is the Catholic Teacher Daily Message, and you and I are going to talk again tomorrow.